It doesn't matter what everyone else does. It doesn't matter if your preceptor says, oh, it's okay, but set a new standard for yourself. And if you do, consistently, watch how people respond to you. Because know this truth, people will show up for you how you show up for yourself. Never forget that, because it's a law of life, especially in pharmacy or really any professional world. It's that time of year, pharmacy rotations. One of the most anxious times to be a pharmacy student and a pharmacist if you're a preceptor. While this creates a lot of overwhelm and anxiety, in this episode, I'm gonna share how to turn it into your best opportunity for employment. When I followed these strategies, no joke, I ended up getting honors for every rotation, and I landed 5 job offers before I even graduated pharmacy school. This is how you can do it too. It's time for a dose of real talk for how this really works. First and foremost, make sure that you're following your school's rules and requirements if you're a pharmacy student on rotations. What I'm about to share is in addition to what's required, not in replacement of, because I don't want to be getting emails from your school saying, blah, 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 they didn't do this. No. Don't hear what I'm not saying. Make sure you're doing that, so be sure to keep that in mind. And speaking of the mind, framing your mindset around how you're going to approach rotations is actually the most effective thing that you can do that almost no pharmacy student does. But if you do it, you'll stand out and script your ultimate competitive advantage. The mindset I'm talking about is treating your rotation like a job interview every single day. And I really want to encourage you to make this fun, not like a chore, but think of it like being on Survivor. Imagine each rotation as a 5-week resume builder. On day 1, you start with a blank page. Your name's at the top and you have nothing. And 5 weeks later, you're gonna turn that in. The question is, what's gonna be on it? Another way to think about it, if you really want to light a fire under your tush, is to imagine that in 5 weeks, you have this job, but based on your performance, you're either fired or you're promoted. It's a bit more intense, but you want to choose which mental framework will pull you into taking massive action. You want to literally get leverage on yourself to show up as the best version of yourself every single day of your rotation. I cannot stress how important this mindset is so that you show up every day, like every single day, as your very best. And let me give you a scenario. Let me tell you why. I want you to think about this for a moment. Think in pharmacy school, whether you're a pharmacist or a student right now, I want you to think of pharmacy school, just any average day where you went to lecture. And I want you to imagine when you showed up for class or just observing the majority of students in your class. How did you show up? Were you early or did you kind of trickle in after it started? What was your energy level like? Were you kind of casual in your walk, kind of like moseying in? And how did you sit in your chair? Did you have like an upright at attention posture, or were you kind of a bit slouched? Now, whatever image you have, and let's be honest, let's not say what we wanted, let's say the real talk. Take that image, that snippet of either you or someone you observed in just the day-to-day, and I want you to take that image and put that in the seat of a job interview. How do you think that would go down if you showed up how you did or how you observed someone in the seat of a job interview? Now, right now, when you're thinking that, you might have got like a little jolt of embarrassment. And please know, I'm not saying this to condemn or criticize you. I'm saying it because your rotation is a job interview if you treat it like one. That's exactly what it will become. And whether that leads to a job right out of school, whether that leads to a residency or a fellowship or a letter of recommendation from your preceptor or someone you worked with, you are there for 5 weeks to learn and get the experience, yes, but my challenge for you is to be there for another reason, a job. Now imagine the job interview you will have for your first job as a pharmacist. So I want you right now, I want you to imagine another scenario. I want you to think in the future. You're at your interview for your first job as a pharmacist. Think about this. Let's say it's next week, next month, couple months from now. In that interview, in the future, how are you going to show up? Are you going to be there early for your appointment time? Are you going to bring in a great attitude, a winning smile, strong posture, a confident walk, super crisp and professional dress? That's the level you just imagined for your pharmacist job interview. That's the level that you need to be playing at every single day. It doesn't matter what everyone else does. It doesn't matter if your preceptor says, oh, it's okay, but set a new standard for yourself. And if you do, consistently, watch how people respond to you. Because know this truth, people will show up for you how you show up for yourself. And I don't mean to be saying all this to put a ton of extra pressure on you, but I want you to realize something profound. This whole rotation experience that you're having, you will never get a shot like this in your career ever again. Not to put pressure on, but this is reality. I want to tell you this now so you don't waste this opportunity. Hey, this is Dr. Adam Martin. If you want to listen to the full podcast episode, click the link below.